Hello, everybody. It is Defeat Monday. The thrill of victory and the agony of my feet. I'm your host, Mr. Moohead. I'm here, whether we win or lose, to try to make sense of all of this crazy shit. I know that you want to hear the good news, but this program wasn't built really on good news. This program was basically built on what I would consider to be bizarre shit. So, while people are starting to populate the chat room, I think people are probably so burned out from Twitter that they don't want to really get involved in any of this crap. What I will say is this: it wasn't much fun watching the game. But while all the analyses are being made, should Kevin Stefanski go? Should he stay? DTR crippled for life. Myles Garrett, he's going to have his arm removed. One person in the Cleveland media kept a crystal clear perspective. And that would be my good man, Terry Pluto. Was he talking about the injuries? No. Was he talking about the play calling? No. Was he talking about DTR? No. PJ Walker? No. Here's Terry Pluto's article. Will heaven open its gates to animals? This is an excerpt from Terry Pluto's New Faith book. You know, some old bullshit here. How? What kind of a question is that? Will heaven open its gates to animals? Eric Burden, hope so. What kind of stupid question is this? Somebody make me stop thinking about this stupidity. Jim, I'm just getting started. Will heaven open its gates to animals? By Terry Pluto.
I'm hoping to see my dog in heaven because I'm seeing a lot of dogs right now in hell.
Will there be animals in heaven? Terry asks us. My wife, Roberta, is counting on it. She probably had to give him 16 hand jobs this week to make sure that he's just not doing it in public.
Well, I know there's no beer, according to Frank Yankovic.
Exactly. I mean, what kind of speculative crap is this? I mean, it's like, I want to bring in my resident expert, Topaz, if I could. I mean, it's like, so you think dogs are going to get into heaven, Topaz? How can we accept Jesus as our Lord and Savior? How do we do that? Somebody, please just help me. I mean, I don't want to be fire and brimstone dog and get burned to the fires of hell. I want to be up there. But then again, if
Topaz.
I'm up there, you won't be with me, Mark.
Topaz, this is God. Remember that time you bit Mark on the hand?
No.
You're going straight to hell.
No.
That's okay. He'll be there with you. He's a Jew.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, accept him as your Lord and Savior. I don't know how. I have 4 paws and a tail. Give me a break. Meanwhile, what he says of his wife is even better. Like some of us, she finds it much easier to relate to animals than people. It's like, well, that'll explain your tremendous marriage, Terry. Would you make this stop? And why are they printing this on Cleveland.com in the sports section? Why? Make it stop. You're right, Amsterdam. He's dyslexic. Dog, God, whatever. Jim Kyle's like, what the fuck's that have to do with the price of tea in China? I don't know why it's on Cleveland.com, but I'm laughing my ass off.
I'm pretty sure it has something to do with trying to take away the pain of watching that game yesterday.
I don't know, but I mean, it's like, why is this on my computer? You know, who are these people? I mean, meanwhile, his wife, Roberta, her favorite job was working on horse farms. She liked to bathe the horses. I mean, what are we dealing with here? I don't need to know this. She's the gal working on the horse farm. She, and meanwhile, whenever they saw her, it'll. And yeah, she was pulling.
Frog blew her.
Yeah, she was literally pulling his trigger. Enough of this. Enough of this. We'll talk sports. But I just wanted to tell people that, you know, some people have weird ways of escaping the reality of Cleveland sports. And I guess pondering whether the Topaz the Wolf is going to be in heaven or not, you know. Can you imagine St. Peter's job having to pick up after these guys? I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, St. Peter's, but I had to shit. All right, here we go. Myles Garrett suffered no structural damage in his left shoulder. He is sore in his day-to-day, according to Kevin Stefanski. No structural damage. I think we've heard this before.
Like, this seems like a repeat of about 3 weeks ago. What the hell?
Is there an echo in the room? Room? Somebody, is there an echo in the room? Yeah, so no structural damage. That's wonderful. However, there's an incredible amount of emotional damage as he sat on the sidelines watching Kevin Stefanski's offensive play scheme. So it's like there's damage. Some people might call it collateral damage, but there's damage nonetheless. Yeah, exactly. Tim Allen said. Well, Tim Allen's unable to feel love. Matter of fact, we'll bring in the New York guy. Hey, Tim Allen, you know, you want to feel something right here. You can feel this right down here, a little lower. Okay. Yeah. Tim Allen.
Boy.
Yeah. So Amsterdam saying, what was the popping sound? Well, there are a lot of things that can cause bursitis can cause that. And of course, now we're finding out that this isn't the first that this shoulder hurt him. Of course, it was the shoulder that he hurt when he flipped the car for no goddamn reason back when. However, now he's saying he doesn't remember what play that it happened on. I just remember it making a little pop. All right. He acknowledged it could be a continuation of the shoulder injury that he mentioned on Friday in the locker room. The one he said felt terrible. Might be about the same, he said, kind of looking like it now. And then he turned and said, any of you have any kind of opinion about whether animals will be allowed in heaven? lot of denial in the Browns locker room and amongst the journalists, I must say.
I think that needs to be a question for everyone this week. I would pay good money for one of the beat writers to ask the players every time that they have a press conference this week. What's your opinion on dogs getting into heaven?
No, could you see John Madden telestrating it? It'd be like,
well, the dog dies and he goes over here and boom, he goes straight to heaven.
No, it's like, well, I can tell you this: my dog doesn't even know how to get back home if he's a block away. But what happens is the dog goes this way, comes around this way, and he can either go that way or that way. If he makes the wrong turn and goes that way, he ends up in Vietnam or China, worse yet, where they really walk dogs.
Oh.
That's pathetic. Topaz is turning and looking. He gave me an evil eye. You don't make jokes about that. All right. So at any rate, we can feel okay that Myles Garrett can't lift his arm, but he's ready to roll for Sunday. At any rate, that's that. If you're looking about passing the eye test, Koromoa obviously was the highest defensive rated player with a 93.6 rating in 60 snaps. That's unbelievable.
He was awesome.
Yeah, he really played a good game. But Myles Garrett obviously was hurting and didn't play a good game. And Okoronkwo didn't play up to his usual standards. And I don't see how Alex Wright gets a 74.8 for not knowing where to line up. I don't understand these numbers completely.
Well,
I gotta be
had
honest.
to make up for Myles. Okay, I think that's what that was.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But you could really see Greg Newsome with the 43.7 was the worst of our cornerbacks, and he played like dog shit. And our safeties weren't much better. So,
well, I guess that kind of shows you how good Denzel Ward really is.
Oh, well, sure.
Yeah.
He can help hold up. The team's concept defensively relies on a shutdown guy covering their best wide receiver. When it comes down to, I always say, well, I have opinions and I'll let you know what they are right after the game, and then I'll think about it. I don't have to think about it. I knew yesterday and I know today they played a really sloppy game. They just weren't tight, cohesive. They were letting guys run up the middle. They weren't clogging the point of attack and getting behind the line of scrimmage like they so effectively have done this season. It's just a bad game, and we're 1-6 now in Denver, and so it goes. You got to put it out of your mind. You got to move forward. And I think you can have a good game, you can have a bad game, but the thing is, this one was winnable. And I want to point out that those people who are screaming on Twitter about fire Stefanski or kill people who say to fire, Stefanski, or the people who are on Twitter who are saying Stefanski's dog is going to go to hell. I'm just going to keep bringing this back up. I can't help it. But the bottom line in all of this is Stefanski's not going to be fired, all right? Frank Reich. Can you imagine if he had 3 sons, there would be a third Reich? These are things that I ponder in my twisted mind, okay? But he got fired after 11 games. Stefanski's not going to get fired. What I'm pushing for is not for him to get fired. I'm pushing for him to have a real offensive coordinator because he's not one, all right? And everybody I talk to wants to change the conversation. I go on there and I say, hey, now, wait a minute. Nobody's saying just outright fire the guy right now. Although I think that if this continues and he doesn't give up the play calling, he's going to be the cause of his own demise. But this is up to the people who are the higher ups, the managerial people, to bring in a real offensive coordinator so we can make a similar jump from like the defense did when we brought in Jim Schwartz. Now, if he can't handle that, then you have to fire him. That's the way it works. If he is so stubborn that he has to control all of those things, then you have to let him go. But I'm not looking at letting him go, but I'm looking at him letting go of the fucking playbook and letting somebody else this season call the plays instead of him. And for somebody to come in at the end of the season, because, I mean, AVP is worthless. I mean, he may be the smartest guy, but you would never know because he never gets an opportunity to show it. So I don't know what you do or how you do it, except you got to bring in an offensive coordinator who takes a look at, assuming that Deshaun Watson will be, healthy next year, what we can do, and gets together with the front office and says, would you please draft me some capable wide receivers instead of just trying to go the free agency market with people like Elijah Moore? Would you please give me people who can catch the football? And let's stop talking about, Njoku being a beast. He's a beast already. He's fucking Godzilla. He can't hold on to the goddamn ball. He can knock buildings down, but he can't hold on to a fucking ball when it's thrown to him. And he's been that way ever since he got here.
There was a stat that came out that said he currently leads the league with 9 dropped passes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a regular thing for him. And
so it's not something we're just thinking zapping.
No.
It's really happening.
Of course. I mean, the eye test. We see what's happening week in, week out, and year in, year out with him. We try to make stars out of people who are not stars. Okay. And maybe we need to do that because we don't have anybody who we can really count on to catch a pass. And I hate to say it, but Amari Cooper should have caught the 2-point conversion, which may have put a little bit more pressure on the Broncos at that moment of the game had the game been tied. Wasn't a great throw, but you get your hands underneath the ball, you've got to be able to catch it. That's your job. So sloppy all the way around. But we got to get his grip, Stefanski's grip on that playbook and offensive coordinator position is like, look, we've given you 4 years. You have not succeeded at this. We've given you what you asked for. A gazillion tight ends, wide receivers who impersonate tight ends, and we gave you Kareem Hunt twice, and we gave you Nick Chubb. And we got you Jerome Ford. So, and we're still not scoring points. Your way isn't working. Let's just move on. And some people will say, well, that's the first step to being let go. And it's like, maybe. But I don't think Don Shula sat there and said, I'm calling all the plays. A head coaching position is a big position. Preparation is a big part of it. And I don't understand why he has to do it all by himself. So, and Richard, well, kind of. So we say this over and over, Jim. We lack speed. We got Anthony Schwartz. That's their answer to speed. Somebody who can run in a straight line in the combine and be real fast. But that doesn't mean anything. The 4.3 speed or whatever it is that Elijah Moore has, it doesn't mean a goddamn thing. I mean, who knows where he's running down the field? The man needs a GPS system. Honest to God. I don't know. He and Cedric Tillman, they think they're Siamese twins and they run to the same spot of the goddamn end zone on a fade.
And something went wrong there.
Yeah,
you said that yesterday, but I mean, it's certainly something went wrong there because there's no reason to have 2 people in the same spot like that.
No, because there are 2 defenders and you're playing a jump ball. You're saying Hail Mary pass. It's not a fade.
Jeff Phelps said on the radio that he thought that Moore was supposed to hitch up and stop like at the front of the end zone for Tillman to take that corner, but somebody misread it. That's for sure.
Yep. And that's been the story, that's been the story of the receiving corps in general. We don't have any skilled players except for Amari Cooper. He's getting beaten up, man.
Oh, jeez.
Seriously beaten up. So what are you going to do? So the other thing I'm not hearing is all the people saying, "Yo, we wasted our money on Deshaun Watson." It's like no quarterback's going to look good in this. No quarterback could possibly look good in this scheme. Sorry, but I want to see Deshaun Watson next year play in a different offensive situation. And if it stays the same next year and he has to play in the same system, I don't mind if he doesn't try and he collects his money, because that's what I would do. I would protect myself. I'm serious. I worked for people like this. I've told multiple owners of radio stations when I was managing properties. They say, well, we're bringing you in for, you have ideas. Well, what are your ideas? I said, get in your car and go as far away from this place as you possibly can. You don't know how to program radio stations. You don't know how to handle a sales staff. And let me say this. For the managerial experience that I had and ownership experience, I did not program my radio stations. I had a program director. Some of my program directors were the greatest folks that you could imagine. You met, if you all watched the show, you met Lee before he passed away. And Lee was a really good program director. And so was Don Hurley, aka Jacko. Jacko was like my guy. He was the one who took Binghamton up to number one. Did a fantastic job working with an air staff and the things. My job was to do as much research, to fund research into what listeners wanted to hear, and then you let your program director call the plays, because you have faith and trust in that person, and they're competent people. So I know of what I speak. You've got to delegate. But if you insist on doing something that you're not that good at, I love to tell you. I can. You want to throw out music questions, about pop music from 1970? 1973 up to the time 1979 when I was a disc jockey. You can put up any goddamn hit record. You can go right now into Google and just check out any time between 73 and 78, we'll say. And I'm serious. And I'll look at the chat room and I'll pull up the name of the artist. You tell me the name of the song, I'll tell you the artist. But by the time I was in an ownership position, what did I know about rap music? Give me a break. Things change. It was like almost 20 years later. Things changed. It's like JB Bickerstaff's goddamn offense that he's utilizing that his daddy used. Things in the NBA changed. Things in the radio world changed. Things in football change. You got to stay with it. Focus. Tice Van Leer, flute player. Jan Ackerman, guitarist. Wait, I got to get this. Enough of that. Yeah, the Bay City Rollers Saturday night. Thanks, Richard. We remember that with a special fondness now, don't we?
Can we pick someone from this continent?
Yeah, it's what you know, but what you don't know, you can't insist you do. If you want to name names of artists from 2000 on, I checked out of radio, man. I was out of the business. I didn't want to listen to it anymore. Yeah. So nobody's taking me up on this in the chat room. One guy, you got to stump the cow. Because this is pivotal to my argument about why you should take the play calling away from Kevin Stefanski. Because he doesn't know pop music. He doesn't know current NFL. Look at him. He's a stodgy guy. He knows nothing about what's new. Please. It's all about injuries right now for the Browns. And no matter how much they say ball security, I keep telling you that it makes it worse. The more you drum that into your players' heads, the more they'll fumble. I hope you believe me now. And as far as PJ Walker is concerned, no. Never again. Never again. I don't care. Anybody but him. You know, it's and as far as play calling, yeah, you can't tell me that when you're getting up to midfield and it's like, yeah, we just made a pass play and we're and then you go ahead and you run the big double reverse bullshit thing and fumble it away. You know, that's just a bad call. That's what that's an acknowledgement of is your head coach saying, I got to trick people for this offense to work because I can't just force my will on somebody. We got to fool somebody. That just doesn't work. You got, so we scored a touchdown on a fancy schmancy play to Harrison Bryant, right? And it's like, it worked. But you see, if you're on the 3 or 4 yard line like that, you should just be able to just do what the Broncos did. Just fake the handoff, boot your quarterback, and get into the end zone. I mean, it isn't that difficult. But for some reason, he thinks he has to fool the world. So,
well, and the other thing is if you look at the receivers, he made one really good throw downfield where it was really pretty tight. That there was a tight window.
But so does Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett made a great throw against
behind somebody. They're over here. They're down here. It's like there's not a flow to exactly where that ball's going. I mean, Njoku came up with that one where he jumped way up.
Yeah,
and got it. And the rumor has it is that with the injury that Flacco is going to start this week, and I'm like, great. So we have an immobile object in an offense that can't really hold on to anything. It's going to get just really even uglier. So,
well, I mean, again, the one advantage that you might have with Flacco is that he can read something.
Yeah.
But the problem is if he doesn't have time, if we're telling our starting quarterbacks because of inexperience or whatever, or because of our inability to block up front, to get rid of the ball in under 2.5 seconds, then it doesn't really matter how strong Flacco's arm is because nobody's going to have time. Yeah, that's right. No time to get down there. So this is a real problem. So, yeah, I can't believe it. You see?
There's still winnable games. That's the scary part of this. If we have enough players to continue to play, I mean, people keep getting hurt. Has anybody heard what Walker's status is, how long he's out for, Anthony Walker Jr.?
Oh, no. I have not heard that. And I
mean, Taki wasn't horrible, but you certainly didn't hear his name called. But
I thought it was week to week with him.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, well, speaking of week to weeks with Minkah Fitzpatrick, that's another one that seemed to catch a lot of heck. But with JOK having just possibly the best game he's had ever, multiple tackles in the backfield, just continuously getting back there. But that's how that scheme is designed. So, but it's just I'm worried about Emerson because he looked like he was a little banged up there towards the end. This great defense is going to be a little scary.
No, Richard, you name the name of the song. I'll name the artist. I mean, it's like, see, it's hard to coach people, It's like, now you understand, Richard, why Elijah Moore keeps going to the wrong place, Like,
okay, how about let's see. And what's your era again, you said?
73 to 78.
Yeah, see, I was thinking Dancing in the Moonlight would be a good one.
Wait, King Harvest. I mean, I will every so often come up with one, just, because remember that I was playing songs as oldies too during that period of time. Nana, sorry, Richard. Although you're right there with, and that was a German band. There was a German version of 99 Luftballon, and then there was 99 Red Balloons, and then there was the one I wrote, 99 dead baboons sitting in my living room. That was my own translation of the German.
How do we not hear that on Dr. Demento?
I don't know. 99 dead baboons just died. It's great. Yeah. There were two Falco hits, Amsterdam. There were two Falco hits. And one was Rock Me Amadeus, and the other one was Der Kommissar. But Der Kommissar, the hit version in 1980 that you saw on MTV, was After the Fire, a British band. Right? So just, again, I see, I've talked you folks into believing that I can name anything. You see, and that's the kind of swag it takes. Does Kevin Stefanski have swag? Fuck no. Fuck no. I want you to all keep stumping me, trying to stump me. I'm dead serious. When you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. Oh, for God's sakes, you're going to make me name the Bob Rivers goddamn the 12 Days of Christmas? Is that what you're going to do? Oh, please. That's a novelty record. That's not a hit record. God almighty. Some that people don't. You're running the wrong pattern, David. Yeah. Are injuries threatening to sink the Browns' playoff hopes? Fact or fiction? No, they're helping us tremendously. And dogs may be able to go to heaven. Wouldn't you love to hear Bruce Drennan talk, I was thinking about that dog in heaven thing. I love you, Rover. Oh, God. 110 Soldiers, Coven. So Coven. That was from the Billy Jack movie. And that's from before 1973. So again, you broke the rules, but I stuck it up your ass anyway. Yes. Put it on the board. Yes. All right. Yeah, this is it's all just drummed into my head. And I like doing shows like this every so often because it keeps my mind nimble and fresh rather than the drudgery of just watching football games and saying the same thing week after week after week. Anyone following the Cavs? Yeah. They won yesterday. Beating the Raptors is no great thing, but right now, are injuries going to be the reason why the Browns don't make it? No. I think the reason the Browns won't make it is we got no fucking offense. That's the reason the Browns aren't going to make it, because we can't get a lift from our offense. And you need that. Periodically, you need the offense to pour it on and give a big boost so that your defense doesn't have to, go at it hammer and tong. And the other team, then you're forcing them to throw and you're forcing them to change their playbook and their strategy. We don't have that going for us, unfortunately. And that's the real reason. And you can blame injuries. Every team's got injuries. Yes, we have maybe more than our fair share, but we did nothing to improve our offense, and we just keep changing quarterbacks, but we're not giving them any better weapons. So what? If we give somebody Cedric Tillman instead of DPJ, what are you really doing for them? That's the thing. And the concept, Wolfgar, is that everything is short because they're trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. First, it was because Deshaun Watson was rusty, and then it was because well, DTR has never played in the NFL, or PJ Walker has never played in the NFL. But the bottom line is that this guy's been running 1-3 alignments with tight ends, and he only wants to throw 5 and 7 yard passes. That's the bottom line. So it's not like, I mean, don't you remember? You know, it was like what we were going through with Huey Jackson, the revolutionary leader. But that he got fired, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Baker Mayfield can throw downfield. It's like, wow. And we actually got to the playoffs because, there was actually somebody different, even though he lived at a double wide. He was still somebody different calling the plays. You remember all that. Well, not all the plays can be bow wows, but this coach seems to choose the worst play for the worst moment that ends up hurting himself. Oh, man. Richard's going for the jugular. The Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I love doing this. Oh, God. All right. So I just want to say that injuries are excuses. If you had a really potent offense with all your starters and your starters got hurt, then I'd say it's an excuse. But we don't have a potent offense. So there's that. And I'm not saying that we should remove Stefanski. I don't know what the black and white thing is here. Why can't he just be the head coach? Why does he have to be all things to all people? Why? This argument that is being raged on is becoming like the liberal versus MAGA argument. It's all black and white. Let's keep him as the head coach and get a capable offensive coordinator. Come on. I don't have any idea. Give it to me. Are you sure? Are you sure that's the name of the song? Give it to me? Huh. Give it to me. Joe Tex? I got no idea who sang Give It to Me. That was not a hit. You have to look up and see if that's a hit. But no. Jay Giles Band. That's a classic rock song then from 1973. That never made the top 40 charts. No. It wasn't until like Centerfold and all that stuff that they became like played a lot. They were being played a lot on FM radio, don't get me wrong. And I did like the band. Peter Wolf was him and his little dance, yeah. No one's ever heard of it, Richard. He was just trying to flex his rock muscles. Oh, God. I love this. I love this podcast. I have no idea what I'm doing before I do it, So no excuses. Then they say winners and losers from the Browns loss. I think we were all losers. I think the people were forced to watch the game. We weren't forced, but we had the stomach to watch it. We're the losers because we're the ones who end up going on Twitter and just blowing people away, But I want to ask people, seriously, there were people who were saying, one guy who we had here on the show, real nice fella. If you remember the whole, we brought in an attorney, a lawyer, to talk about the Deshaun Watson case when Blake Weiner is his name. Nice fella, and did me a real favor coming on the program. He said to me, the Browns are the worst team in the division there, and the Bengals way better. Their roster is far more advanced. And I said, I don't see that. And now I really don't see it because they lost One guy. Bye-bye. The Bengals, it's like, where's the depth of their roster? What happened to them? But the fact of the matter is, the Brown family, they're not going to be any better than the Haslam family. That's the bottom line. The Bengals will Bengal, regardless of what their fan base says. And they got a great quarterback, and Jamar Chase is a great receiver. T. Higgins was hurt. What's true is true. They got no running game. They can't keep running Joe Mixon back on the field. The guy got like 16 yards in the game. They can't run the football. So, don't tell me that, the Bengals are better than the Browns. No, they're not. They lost to the Browns. Hello? Oh, but of course, that's because Burrow is injured. Okay, so we're using injuries as excuses.
Half our damn team is injured.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, oh, no, we wasted all of our money on Deshaun Watson. Well, what about Burrow? That's an ass of a deal. My God. That's an unwashed ass of a deal. What was it, $275 million? Is that what they paid him?
There's some ridiculous amount of money on the bench right now in quarterbacks out there. Hey, we could have Zappy and Jones right now. I mean,
Fucking Belichick. And you know what's great about Belichick? I mean, he believes in himself so profoundly. I mean, he takes himself way, way too seriously. This is Bill Belichick. And I can't, that wouldn't work. So I'll do what he's thinking. Like, I can really outthink my competition. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to announce the starting quarterback. I'm going to say I'm going to announce that name on Sunday. Take them all by surprise. It's like neither guy's any good.
They both suck.
They're the same person. They wear a different uniform. You clone the same bad guy who throws interceptions left and right.
The grounds crew guys in Major League pounding the mound down, saying in Chinese, they're still shitty.
Yeah. And Belichick's like, yeah, this is my strategy. I mean, it's like your grandfather. It's like you're too old, Bill. If you think that's strategizing, do you think teams are sitting there going, oh my God, he fooled us again. He put Mac Jones back out there. It doesn't matter which guy puts out. And for us, it doesn't really matter. I'd rather have DTR I'd rather have anyone than PJ Walker. Right?
Yeah, as soon as that happened, it was like, oh, this is not going to be good. So,
Oliver Truman, wait. Mr. Moo, could you explain the Joe Burrow noise? I must have missed that show. He's a burro, a donkey. Okay, burro, you get it? Not the kind you eat. That would be a burrito. A burro is another name for a. So that's it. So whenever I say Joe Burrow, and you can do it at home too. And
you need a sound effect. You need a sound button for that. Joe Burrow. Yeah. Yeah. We need to get you one of those soundboards or whatever that we can just kind of throw those things in.
Yeah, Raul, let me say something. Rather listen to Pete Franklin than Bruce Drennan. Could you imagine Mrs. Drennan? I love this beef stew. Please, honey, please. God. And that's bloodthirst, Captain Fierce. All I know is someone is losing a job after this season, and it's not me. It's like, you just want blood. This is bloodthirst. You're not off the hook, viewers. You still have to stump the cow. You have to stump the cow with a top 40 hit between 1973 and 1978. Billboard approved hit between 1973 and 1978. You got to find something that I don't know. You got to find that. You know, I'm giving you the challenge that the coaching staff would give the players. It's like, look at that fat fuck on the podcast saying he knows every hit from 1973 to 1978 without looking it up. It's all up here in his head. Let's make him into a liar. Let's get psyched up and bury him. Oh. Oh. You might have me on this one. Another novelty record.
Uh-oh. What's the title?
Convoy.
Oh.
Breaker.
That's
Let's see if anyone.
It's not Hoyt Axton. It's
No, it's not.
It's Jerry
Jerry Reed? No, it's not Jerry Reed.
No, Jerry Reed did something in there though.
Oh, Convoy. I'm gonna have to really think about this one because these are the types of song, and that was
It is another novelty record though, as you said.
Yeah, it's a novelty record, but it was a hit. What in the world?
Convoy. I remember the song.
Yeah, it's right. C.W. McCall. You've officially stumped the cow. Congratulations. I wouldn't have come up with that no matter how far I'd have reached up my asshole. Good for you. You see, it can be done. And this is my point. If you go in thinking, oh, you can't run the ball, then you can't run the ball. If you come in here and say, can't stump the cow, you can't stump the cow. And then somebody does it. Now it's, want ads. Wait. The lead singer just died of this band.
Wow, I didn't even know that song. I'm pretty good at this stuff.
Wait a sec. I want to put it in the want ads. It's Honeycomb. But I saw that she just passed away. She was 80 years old. Wanted, a young man, single and free. That was, want ads was their other.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Experience in love preferred. Or will accept a young trainee. I want to put it in the. Okay. Yeah, I know, Krembley. I already said it. Don't act like you're coming in. I mean, that's a late hit. 15-yard penalty. Unnecessary roughness. Strange magic, you mean, would be ELO. Yeah. That's too easy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one I even know.
Yeah. I mean, Hammer was all over that one.
If it's strange, it's up my alley. So
Tom Holly says the Cars. But what do you? What?
No,
what
the Cars had its magic.
Oh, when I'm with you.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
It's a little. So we're there. How about Wham Bam Shangalang?
We got a wham, wham, bam, bam, shang-a-lang, and the sha-la-la-la. Who sang Wham Bam Shang-a-lang? The Weather Girls, it's Raining Men, Amsterdam.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. So Wham Bam Shang-a-lang. Who sang?
I remember the song. I actually had to
we got
cheat
a wham,
over here and look it up.
Oh my God. I haven't heard of that song in a long time.
Well, I'm looking through this list. I pulled a week and just started looking through. I'm like, knew that one, knew that one, knew that one, knew that one, knew that one. I'm like, it was either that or a fifth of Beethoven.
Oh, Walter Murphy Band. I'd have gotten you on that one.
Yeah, that one is, yeah.
But Wham Bam Shang-a-lang. Oh my God. I feel terrible. I'm being crushed by the opposition.
Well, I had to look it up. Okay, this wasn't one I had to off the top of my head. So
it's not something stupid like Bo Donaldson and the Haywoods, is it?
No,
I didn't think so.
I honestly, I don't know that this band ever charted other than this song.
Oh, who was it then? One hit wonder.
Silver.
Silver. Wow. That was a tough one. That was a real tough one.
I honestly, I think that is the only song they ever charted.
No, I've never heard of the band before, honestly. But I
Yeah,
knew the song.
their discography is one album.
Yeah.
One hit wonders. There you go. Silver. Nope. Wow.
Yeah. So, like we were saying earlier, I mean, if you wanted bloodthirst, you know, the Brian Hallman effect has taken over the Carolina Panthers. He becomes a fan. You know, I'm not going to do anything with Deshaun Watson ever again. And he says, I'm going to be a Panthers fan. I'm going to follow Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's gone. And now what he's got? He's got bupkis. That's Yiddish for nothing. Nothing. Frank Reich fired. The whole staff was fired almost.
Yeah, they just canned the whole joint. They're just the team's going to have a player coach, I believe, is what they said. No, not really, but actually, here's a interesting Silver trivia. Their lead singer was Tom Ledden, who is Bernie Ledden's brother, played with the Eagles.
Oh, really?
And was actually in one of the founding members of Tom Petty's band Mudcrunch.
Oh, wow. See, it's a small world.
That's some good trivia there.
Yeah, you know, Jim, you could look this up because is DPJ even playing with the Lions? Is he getting any time over there?
Actually, he got in a little on Thursday. I watched the game. He did get in on a couple plays on Thursday, and he dropped a ball. Hey, at least he's consistent.
MS Swamp says, I hear DPJ's looking good. It's like,
I know he got in because when I was watching it, I'll have to look up the stats for you. So
that's funny, but yeah, seriously, you know, he's a 6th round pick, and the Lions figured you know, not a problem. We can, you know, getting him for nothing for another 6th round pick. So I love the fact that the Bills defensive end Shaq Lawson shoved an Eagles fan, made him fly like an eagle.
He deserved it, I'm sure.
Well,
I'm sure he deserved it.
Oh, thank you. It was sarcasm. You know, that's hard to make out, sarcasm in a chat, you know? Now, Crumbly's really, you know, now this is funny. The original was B.J. Thomas, but that was all the way back in the 60s. But you're going with the ooga chaka, ooga, ooga. And that was Blue Swede. All right. Yeah. So there's your answer.
Actually, I own that 45, as a matter of fact.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one I like David Hasselhoff's version. Have you seen the video for that, Jim? Too. Yes. Have you seen the video of that?
Yes, I have seen him on it.
It's like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's like filmed with somebody with a camcorder. It just looked like, if I recall. Actually, it shows that DPJ did not get a target, but I thought they said he was active. But they actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different people caught a pass, or at least had targets. David Montgomery did not catch the ball. So 8 different receivers caught a ball, including some people on the backfield.
David Soul had 1 hit. Don't throw up on it. Don't give up on us, baby. All right, that's the David Soul song. But you're supposed to name the song, not the artist. And again, you know, we have dyslexic people.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but can you imagine? The Bills are so frustrated they're going after fans. Is that why didn't they go after the other team when they needed to? My God, they had the game won. And it's incredible how many games they've lost in the final minute of the game.
Yeah, they seem to be able to.
Oh, way to go, Richard!
Victory.
Yeah, that was David Soul. And this you can say sarcasm, you know. Oh God, you guys are a hoot.
Oh wow, here's another good one. This
Yeah.
is gonna test you here. I like dreaming.
Kenny Nolan.
Oh
And,
man, that's good.
yeah. And, but the funny thing is, when I spun records at a disco, that was like a slow song that the white people
Yeah.
wanted to dance to, right? And
Mhm.
actually, it sounds like he's saying, I like dweeming. I don't understand why he had a speech impediment, but he had a hit. That was Kenny Nolan's only hit. So there's that.
That's why I was.
You have a good list there, though. You're working the list, man. And you have to find that one obscure. Thunder Island was Jay Ferguson, and that was not a top 40 hit, I don't think, Rick. But and I'm trying to remember the rock band Jay Ferguson was in. I forget the name of the band right now. So,
all right, let's see.
yep.
I just saw one.
Yeah, it's
now,
a shame.
This is a song that I'll honestly I have never heard of. Okay,
Right.
Jeans On.
I got my blue jeans on, David Dundas. I got
Wow.
my own
Okay,
blue
now
jeans
that
on.
you sing it, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. But just looking at the title, I had no idea. Well, that one I would have known, but I wouldn't remember the name of the artist.
Come on! Keep your eye on the sparrow. When did we start getting into gospel music? Funny people. I would love to be able to get into one of those just so I could they throw me out after my question. They would escort me out and I'd be dragging and kicking, You're out of order. You're out of order. Everybody's out of order. Hooah. And they would just take me right out of the thing. That would be the end of it. No, you can't go with a theme song from Beretta. It's a television show. That wasn't a hit. A theme song from Beretta. I killed somebody. Oh, God. You can't. That's like asking me who did the theme from Laverne and Shirley. It's like, no. So Jalen Hurts, 4th straight comeback win. The luck has to give at some point. Talk about pop music. That was M. Shooby dooby doo ah. Yep.
I remember that song.
Yeah, that was more of an MTV hit now, wasn't it? I remember.
Yeah, that was definitely a huge one on MTV.
Huge video, yeah. So far, I mean, I've only been stumped once. That's not bad. And Jim's got the list from hell.
I'm just pulling stuff. I'm just pulling arbitrary weeks. See, here's another one but it didn't make the top 40. So that week it did. Let's see. Did it ever get to top 40? No, it didn't. So I can't give you that one.
What was the name of the song? Just out of curiosity.
It was, Can This Be Real?
Oh, never heard of that. No.
Yeah. It
got
to 47.
Oh, wow.
In January of 74. So it never made it to I'm just looking at, I just pulled like an arbitrary week and I'm like going, I know these people. I'm like, I could pretty much name most of these folks. That tells you how much I was into music at the time as well. And I didn't work there. So I'm like, because I just went back. So I pulled this week and you could pull this show and tell.
Oh, Al Wilson. Al Wilson.
Just a game I play when I want to see.
Well, the Buggles, Richard. The Buggles. Sorry, I missed you.
Yeah, the Joker.
Steve Miller Band.
Right. Smoking in the boys' room.
Everybody knows that smoking in the Brownsville Station.
This is in 74, right?
Yeah, Brownsville Station.
The second one, right?
Right.
I've got to use my imagination.
Wow. That's a song I don't know.
What if I said Midnight Train to Georgia?
Oh, Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that. You're 16.
Ringo Starr.
Time in a Bottle.
Jim Croce.
The Way We Were.
Barbra Streisand.
Living for the City.
Stevie Wonder.
Let Me Be There.
Olivia Newton-John.
Love's Theme.
Love Theme was the Love Unlimited Orchestra with Barry White.
Barry White, right. Never, Never Gonna Give You Up. Also.
That's Barry White, yeah.
Barry White. Hell on Wheels.
That would be Paul McCartney and Wings.
Until You Come Back to Me.
Ooh. Until You Come Back to
Parentheses. Me. That's what I'm gonna do.
I don't know that song at all.
Aretha.
Oh.
You know it if you heard it.
Wow, I didn't even know she had hits.
Yeah. Are You Lonesome Tonight? When I Fall in Love. And it's not the original version.
Obviously not.
It was Donny Osmond charted. He was at 14.
Oh.
Yeah.
No
Me and Baby Brother.
See, that's songs. These are songs I've never heard of.
They charted at 15 that week. War. The Most Beautiful Girl. I know you'll get that.
Charlie Rich, yeah.
The Americans. Another novelty song.
What, the Americans?
Americans, yeah. That was real big up here. It was huge.
How'd it go?
It was something like it was pretty much spoken word.
Is that the Byron McGregor?
That's Byron McGregor. Yeah, I have that on a cassette tape.
Byron McGregor, CKLW.
I recorded it off of Y103 in Youngstown off the radio.
Silver Convention, Krembley.
Yeah, that's a good one. Spiders and Snakes.
Wait, Jim Stafford. Sukiyaki would have been A Taste of Honey. God, this is getting. Yeah, I'm doing multiple ones at once now. This is my great finale where I'm juggling like 6 things at once.
That's a pretty. I mean, some of these, like I said, I do remember Americans, but if you had told me that, unless somebody said spoken word, I'd be, oh yeah, Byron McGregor. I remember that.
I'm Byron McGregor, CKLW News. That's who he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was the news guy for CKLW.
Well, that was the big banger and they blew out everybody in this area on the radio. We used to listen to
the original guy, that was from way back when. That was not the 70s.
In the 60s.
That's right. The 70s version was A Taste of Honey. The same group that did Boogie Oogie Oogie.
So I mean, you pretty much nailed 16 of the top 20. I haven't finished Living for You and Walk Like a Man. And the Walk Like a Man is not the Frankie Valli version.
Walk Like a Man. Somebody redid that?
It's a different song, I think. Grand Funk did a version.
Wow.
They charted at 20.
Never heard of that.
So, yeah. But anyway, I mean, this is a heck. I mean, I'm going through this. I'm like, I know all these songs. Holy God, this is
I mean, it's hard to find you have to find the obscure things. Yeah. You know, Indian Love Call.
Oh, that was Slim Whitman. It was.
Slim Whitman.
Oh, I got that one.
I met Slim Whitman. You know, he came to the radio station. He was sleeping in his car. Honest to God. I'm not kidding. They were doing those late night television commercials, the great music of Slim Whitman, all that weird shit. Yeah. And so he came to the radio station and the guy was sleeping in his car. The Raiders, that was after the Paul Revere, that was just the Raiders. Hall & Oates and Las Vegas Turnaround wasn't a hit. She's Gone was the hit off Abandoned Luncheonette, but Sarah's off on a turnaround. I just know that song because I liked Hall & Oates. Flying gambling fools to the Holy Land, Las Vegas. I'm not done yet. It's 5 after 6. You can keep hitting me over the head with this shit. This helps me. No, I'm serious. It helps keep my mind nimble. And rather than dwelling on why the Cleveland Browns lost again in Denver,
Ring My Bell.
Anita Ward.
Number 19 in the year I graduated.
Ring my bell. Yeah, you're getting into
Wow.
disco.
All right. This is one I don't. You probably know this, but I don't even recognize this name. Get used to it.
Get used to it.
Get used to it. Charted at 25 in 79, June of 79.
Hey, but I said 73 to 78.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went to I picked 79 for me because this is stuff that this is a lot of stuff. All right, I'll have to go back here. Let me fix this. One more here.
Yeah, one more. Then we have to get off the air because I'm just Freddie's dead. You're gonna go with wait.
I remember
that. Curtis Mayfield. Yeah.
See,
A bad time would be Todd Rundgren.
Ooh. Okay. God, 78 music sucks. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, that was right in the heart of disco, and some of it is like.
And every now and then you sneak in a couple of good ones like Flashlight.
Oh, see, there were disco releases, and I was spitting.
Flashlight. I've actually seen this person play this band play this in concert.
Flashlight. I have no idea.
It was Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you know that song if you heard it. Trust me. We were all dancing to it here a couple years ago.
It's funny. Grand Funk was the correct answer to Bad Time, but it was produced by Todd Rundgren. Isn't that crazy? That was the only album, and it sounded like a Todd Rundgren song, and that's what got me tripped up. Yeah, check out the album. He actually produced the album. Of all people, why Todd Rundgren was doing a Grand Funk record, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm looking for at this week. This is in 78, and I'm looking
Michael Murphy,
top singles, and so many of these are disco songs. Night Fever.
Yeah, we know that.
If I Can't Have You, that's a good one.
Yvonne Elliman,
right? Can't Smile Without You, which isn't disco.
Barry Manahigh, yeah.
The Closer I Get to You.
Roberta Flack.
With a Little Luck.
Paul McCartney and Wings.
Too Much, Too Little, Too Late.
Johnny Mathis.
Mm-hmm. You're the One That I Want. Obviously, we know that one.
Yeah, obviously.
Lay Down Sally. Dust in the Wind.
Wait. Eric Clapton and Kansas.
Okay. Right. Count on Me.
Count on Me.
Mm-hmm.
Count on Me. Count on Me. Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah. Jack and Jill. And
Radio.
Whew, that's a good one. Imaginary Lover.
Imaginary Atlanta Rhythm Section. I do this,
I remember that song, but yeah, I wouldn't remember ARS.
You know how I remember that song? We played it at 78 speed, and it sounded just like Fleetwood Mac. Honest to God. And we were telling people it was the new Fleetwood Mac song. Funny stuff.
Feels So Good. You would know that one.
Chuck Mangione.
Shadow Dancing. Another easy one.
Baby Cross the Floor. That was Andy Gibb.
Right. That got to number one. Disco Inferno.
Oh, come on. Wait. Burn, babe. The Tramps.
Yep. That was also on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
10cc Richard.
This time I'm in it for love.
Wait. Okay. Wait. I really love to see you tonight was England Dan and John Ford Coley.
Right.
What was yours?
This time I'm in it for love.
Ooh. This time I'm in it for love. Who sang that fucking song? This time I'm in it for love. That sounds like the same band. That's something that's.
This is another one that I think they're a one-hit wonder as well. Player.
Wow.
I know the song, but I would have never known that.
Unreal.
And then the top 20 this week wrapped up with Sweet Talking Woman.
That was ELO.
We said Flashlight already. On Broadway.
That would be George Benson. Yeah.
Yep. And Two Doors Down, who just made a huge hit
Dolly Parton
on Thursday.
You seen one, you seen them both.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, Feelies, oh my love of Feelies. Who sang Feelings? I hate that. I wish I'd never met you, girl. You'll never come again. Boy, that's harsh. Who sang Feelings? That's terrible that I'm not remembering this. And that was a huge hit.
Yeah.
Who sang? Morris Albert. Whew.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are the man, Moo.
Yeah. Love Will Find a Way. Oh, now you're going back again. I don't know. Love Will Find a Way. That one I'm not even hearing in my head. The Trashmen, Krembley, but that's not the 60s, 70s. Oh, you're right. Pablo Cruz. I'm thinking what you're going to do, right? Yeah. At any rate, well, you've done a good job. You've stumped the cow. I think everybody's had their shot to stump the cow. We'll do this again some other time. Yeah, Pablo Cruz was. I just remember, what you gonna do when she says goodbye? That was a big Pablo Cruz song. And all at once, you're ready to hang it up. Ready to hang it up. Doing the white man. With the overbite. All right. Look, I'm forgetting about the Browns' loss. We can still put a season together if we can beat the Rams, and it's going to be tough. I don't know how we're going to do it, but you got to find a way. Steelers find a way to win. That bozo quarterback, we got to find a way to win with our bozo quarterbacks. That's what it comes down to. We got to get turnovers. We got to get short fields. We got to do whatever it takes, but we got to figure out a way. And, right now, if the season were starting, you'd say, the Rams are just there for the taking, but they're playing better now. They're coming off a 37-14 win. And Matthew Stafford is throwing interceptions, but not if Denzel Ward's not on the field. So that's going to be a challenge for us. So let's hope that we do find a way, Rick. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in to this misbegotten edition of Moohead Radio. But hey, sometimes this is like self-gratification. I'm 66 years old and I still remember this shit and I want to keep remembering it. And so every so often, like anytime you want to put together and assemble a list of from 1973 to 1978 songs and throw them at me in the chat room, then I'm more than happy because A, I love music, and B, I'm just trying to keep my mind intact. All right, everybody, enjoy your Monday Night Football if that's what you're all about. I'm going to go eat my dinner, and then I'm going to take a shower, and then I'm going to lay down, and I don't know who's playing tonight anyway, Jim? Is it worth a damn?
No. It is. Oh, shit. Monday Night Football tonight. It is the beautiful, oh God, who is it? Bears and Vikings.
Oh.
I knew it was a bad
Tony the Calf.
I know it's a bad one. That's all I knew. So, yeah, I knew there's a reason that I was looking at what's on streaming services tonight as a potential.
Yeah, I'm looking here and it says, Stefanski said following Sunday's game, the DTR was in the concussion protocol. On Monday, Stefanski, they will continue to work through the protocol throughout the week and follow each of the steps.
And he got clocked.
The x-rays were negative on Cooper's ribs. I forgot to mention that. So he's got sore ribs, but try breathing with those. Nothing broken, but bruised for sure. And that's tough.
Hey, somebody threw something out here, and just before you get out of here, would they bring Jarvis back if Cooper can't go?
Where is he?
He's unemployed, from what I understand.
Is he interested in playing football?
But I thought he was with the Saints, but somebody seemed to think that he wasn't anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's probably out of the game completely.
According to Wikipedia, Jarvis Charles Landry is an American football wide receiver who is a free agent.
There you go. Wikipedia says he's a free agent. So
yeah, if his body is in condition, I'd bring him back in a heartbeat. Are you kidding? You need anybody who can find a dead spot in his zone. Anybody who can catch everything that's thrown at him. That's right. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you again on Friday, and we'll be looking at the pregame analysis of the LA Rams. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, hasta la vista, Pastor Eds. Good night.
Moo.